Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. If I sound a bit funny, that's because I had to have an emergency dental appointment to have a back tooth taken out. They took the back tooth out and then I had to go back yesterday to have stitches put in it because it wouldn't stop bleeding. All done now, but I'm very puffy and very sore. So I did promise that I would do a page in this, so I'm hoping to be able to get this done and maybe a page for my poor Patreons who were so patient with me yesterday they didn't get the video. So I'm really excited about this. I want to use the Castle Art Harmonious pencils that I was so kindly gifted by Becky for my birthday. And I managed to fix the swatch without too much trouble. So I just stuck a piece of paper across there and now I've got my swatches. Not that you can probably pick those beautiful colours up, but so the page I've chosen, I've tried to go simple, and the page I've chosen is the dark blue ballerinas with these flowers down the bottom. Now I don't know how this is going to go but we're going to try. So I can't get everything in the picture, so I can't get you to be able to see what I'm doing and the picture as well. So you'll have to trust me, and we'll have to have a look at the end and see how it goes. So I've got my swatch here and I'm going to start with the sky, and I definitely think Topaz is a good one, so I'll get that out. So I'm just going to try and match some of these colours if I can find them. You know what I'm like. Topaz, there it is. Okay, and then we want to go even darker, so the night blue. Inky blue. No, where is that then? Oh dear, I'm sorry. I'm really not too with it. Let me have a look. Why is it not in there? It probably is, but I can't see it. I want night blue, which is there. Right there. And then I want ocean sapphire. Ocean sapphire. Do I? Yeah, we can try it. Okay, let's start with those three and see how we get on. I'm going to give them a sharpen because I didn't do so when I was swatching. I just went straight in. So I'm just going to give them a couple of turns in the pencil sharpener and we'll see how we get on. And we might want something even lighter like Columbus, which is a cloud, I think, isn't it? Where is that? Sorry. There. One thing I did notice is, like, this one is a pale blue, you can see by the nib, and yet the barrel looks grey. And that's probably because it's like a grey blue. It's that one. So, okay. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try. So I'm going to go in with this very pale Columbus to start with to give me some wax lay down. And I'm going to start on this bit. And it looks very like it's been done very linear. So I am going to go backwards and forwards. I'm really very shaky as well. I am going to go backwards and forwards. You probably won't be able to see this to start with because it is so pale. But this is just going to give me some kind of line so I know where to go to with the other colours. And also, like I say, a little bit of a wax base here. Yeah, so I had all that trauma. It was very traumatic for me. I'm going to go in with Topaz, because that's like the bright, the bright blue. Okay, scary. we go. So this could take some time. And I can't do an awful lot of talking because it does hurt still. It's still very tender. It wasn't pleasant, I can tell you, having to go back with a very sore gum where they'd removed this tooth and then more injections in it so they could stitch it. Didn't need many stitches, but it's just, oh dear, yeah, it was quite traumatic. I'm not afraid of the dentist, but it's the anticipation of pain that is the scary part of it, I think, isn't it? So I'm just going to sort of leave that edge uneven, just like the picture. And then we've got this little bit over here too. I'm not so worried about covering those little bits because they are almost black. They'll need to be mixed with a very dark colour to get those in. But they're performing well. Beautiful, beautiful colours. And I'm hoping, other than maybe a black, that we can just do the entire thing with the Harmonious pencils, which would be really nice. Just put a little bit in there. Pull a bit more unevenness out. Now I will come back in and sort of even and level all this off, but I want to get my placements right. Okay, let's come in with a little bit of this Ocean Sapphire and see what that's like. So we're beginning to get a little bit more darkness in there. So I'm going to put this underneath and then bring that, when we just the topaz up over it. Hopefully that will darken up the topaz enough to give us that colour that we want. Let's try it. So come over with the topaz. I might have to get my Castle Arts out. To add some depth to this, but we'll see. And I might stop and put the skin colour in. Let's do that because I'm going to end up going over her skin and she's going to end up looking green. Okay, what skin tones have we got? We've got wheatgrass. That looks gorgeous. Let's try that. Here it is. Okay, let's just put a little layer on the skin. Oops. I hope you can see. That's a beautiful colour, isn't it, that wheatgrass? I will put the names up on the screen as usual. And we'll go in with some other colours later. I just want to get a base coat down just to protect this skin. Here we are. Okay. Now what I think here is we've got night blue now, so I'm going to try coming in with the night blue, because I might have to add some Prisma, maybe some black Prisma. They'll be the only colours that I use. If I use anything else, will be black and white from Prismas. But it seems to be coping okay. I'm going to go over those and I'll do it myself with pen. It seems to be covering and coping quite well, look, at darkening that bright blue up. So we'll bring that over. Same with the moon, going to go over that with pen. It's very fiddly because of all the little bits on the page. So I'm going to go over that shooting star. Fiddly. Maybe should have picked a less fiddly page. But I loved it. As soon as I saw it, so it reminded me of the jewellery box that I had when I was a little girl. These colours. Just pull some of that dark down. Then we're going to take the, we took the Ocean Sapphire, didn't we? And we'll bring that up, because that worked on the other side. At darkening that up. Try and get in these tiny spaces. They might have to be paint pen. I mean, they're almost black, I think. We'll pull it in there too, and in here. I know it looks a hot mess at the moment, but it won't when I've managed to fill it all in. Okay, then we go back in with that topaz and go over that. Until we've covered that topaz. What I'll do is just put this rough basis in with you, and then I'll go off and blend it all out and layer it all up off camera, so you don't have to watch that. It will just be the same colours going over and over and over again until it's lovely and smooth and filled in. Careful round here. What's that in there? Black. Her hair's black. Okay, let's get round here and in here. And not forgetting this bit. And in there. Okay, let me just get a sip of drink. So now I'm just going to repeat those processes. So I'm going back in with this night blue. And I'm going to keep going until I've got that dark. And I filled up all the tooth of the paper. So I'm just going to go backwards and forwards with the topaz and the night blue. Now I might want to darken that up even more. I think dark blue, this night blue is the darkest one I've got. But let me go and smooth all this out. Actually, let's just try a tiny bit of black Prisma. Just a really light smoosh of black Prisma at the top here, because it's really very dark in the image. So I'm just going to put a little splodge of black Prisma on. And that really darkness just comes to around about here. So any black pencil you've got, doesn't have to be a Prisma. And just get that darkness in there. Okay, and then I'll come back and blend that through with the night blue of the Harmonious set. And then I'll see you when I've blended that smooth with those two colours, the night blue and the topaz. Alright, I'll see you shortly. Okay, let's carry on. I need to do a little bit, show you how I did this little bit of blending down the bottom here to make it lighter. Just for a bit more dramatic emphasis. So I took the Columbus and used that to help blend, and it worked beautifully. Just to give us that the blend between the two. And it just sort of lightens that whole thing a little bit down this edge around our beautiful fairies. Not much, but enough to give us that sort of dramatic effect. So I put less round here, as you can see, and then I'm just going to blend that through. Like that. I think I've mostly got that area done. Okay, now next on the picture I need to preserve these light spots here. So I've picked out duck egg, and I'm going to start to try and put those light bits in. Now the trouble is they've got this dark area that runs from here down to around about her ankle. So if we put that light area in with duck egg, I am going to put some Prisma white on there too, but if I put the duck egg on there, that comes down to that plant like that. And then from this foot down to this plant, like that. Maybe a little bit further out into those grasses, like that. And obviously I can put the black silhouette bits on with whatever I want to use. Okay, so the next challenge then is this hedgerow here. So I'm going to take my black Prisma like we did before, and I'm going to try and put in a line of where this comes to. So I think around about, if we do it a little bit higher, we can bring out that blue again. So if we bring it round, yeah, this bit's covered all the way down to there. Round about like that. And then round the back of the girls, about here. And up, we'll come up higher here so we can bring that brighter blue down, and then round these. That's going to be a bit challenging. Okay, and then along there. Okay, so I'm now going to fill that up with some black Prisma, just lightly, not and just leave an uneven edge at the bottom. I think this is more challenging than I thought, but I think it'll be okay. I think it's just planning out the colours to start with. There's not that many colours on the page, but I think once we've got this background done, we'll be okay. I'm going to leave that uneven again. And try and leave out these tiny bits of plants. That one doesn't matter so much there. Fill that with black. And then round here. Again, I'm going to leave it uneven so it looks more... Oh, I've gone over a leg. I knew that would happen. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, paper erases beautifully, by the way. Another reason why I'm going in lightly, because if I fluff up then I can erase. Okay, so I'm putting in a little bit more black than I did up in the sky because this is really quite dark under here. Okay, and then I'm going to take that night blue, our really dark blue, and put that in over the top of that Prisma. And if it's still not dark enough I can add more, but I think that would be good just with that little bit of black. I'll bring you down a little bit further. I'm going to try and keep the page still. Excuse my bit of a lisp. I've not done much talking and it's not very comfortable. We need to make those a little bit more like bush looking, so I'm going to bring up that black in there just so it looks like there's trees and things in the background there, like that. That's working well over that Prisma, and then I'll bring this out so that we can see the actual blue there by itself. Fill this up as best I can. It's a bit fiddly. But that's got like a beautiful purpley flower there, so I don't really want to cover that up. That's got a different blue, that little bit, so handache. I'm going to try and keep it still, but I don't know, I'm not with it today. Okay, so each of the base of each of this black part, I'm going to pull down until I've got some of this night blue by itself with no black in it, so we get this mixture. So like here, bring that down until that night blue shows by itself, just leaving an uneven edge. Fill up in here. So it's actually, it's not that bad. I'm making it sound horrendous, but it's not that bad. It's just mapping out these colours, that's all. And I think we've done the worst part, more or less. Like this. Comes down to around about her ankle, so we've got those proportions about right there. And yeah, the same again there. That's cool. Excellent. So we'll do the same here. Let me just get a sip of drink. Sorry. Ooh. And we need to put some little grasses, and so just some prisma squiggles up there. Like that. And then come back in with that night blue and pull that out. So that comes right out round here, around these plants. So I'm going to come over those because they are blue, and we'll do some fancy schmancy gel pen or paint pen to bring those alive. I'm just going to scribble over it lightly, and then I'll bring out this night blue here. And all the way down into these grasses here. Yep. And then that's the first part at which we start to see some colour there down at the bottom. Okay, so we've now got their shadows, which come from the tip of her toe out like that to meet the tip of this ballerina's toe, and I've gone over her foot again. Poor ballerina. Okay, then this one's comes out like that. We can afford to make them quite dark now. And then hers comes out. Okay, so we've got the shadows. See, easy enough. So there was me telling you about all the rendering and that they didn't leave much out, and I picked the one page where there was bits left out, but that's okay. You know, we can do a hard one together. Okay, so this is now where I need to bring this blue out. I'm going to come over those leaves as well with the, this is that night blue again. And we're going to bring it out, and then we're going to come in with that topaz again. Let's make sure I've got enough of that. Okay, and I'm going to get the topaz, and then remember those light areas that we put in. I'm going to try and just lightly come up to those. We can always come back with that eggshell and blend it through. But we wanted you know, those preserved areas that we left of light. We need to remember those. That comes up to the shadow and over and meets up at the back. Like that. Then we're into this one's preserved light area. I know it looks awful to start with, but I'm just making sure that I keep those light areas. We can bring that topaz down at the back here, like that, and here. And then she has got light around here. Fill up in between. Okay, let's get that eggshell out again. I just want to make sure that's safely in there. Okay. Now I have to go and smooth all that out. So we have to go from night blue to the topaz, and that's it, I think. Have I got my white, a Prisma white? Yeah. Is it clean? No. And then I'm going to put Prisma white on there. Pull that out. Like that. Okay. Highlights done. So now I'm just going to go and let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go and smooth all that out like we did the sky. Here's the image, and here's where we've got to. So I'm just going to go and smooth that out with those two colours, avoiding our light areas, and then I'll be back and we'll carry on. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so far so good. So that's smoothed out. I just want it while we're pulled out, and well, I'll come in a little bit. I just want to add some white to this bit. It's just my white Prisma. Because it lightens that up beautifully. Just a little bit, not... There we go. Alright. So we're going to need black, because down the bottom here under these plants, all this is black in between them. So maybe we should do that afterwards. That might be a good plan, Lucy Lou. Okay, let's have a look. So I need, I want to do these purples. So we've got lots and lots of beautiful purples. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's a good match there. I don't know what it's called. 032. 032 is... bear with me. Oh, it's here, this tray. You do get 3 trays of these. Oh, no. Dear me. 27, 28, 29. Oh, no, that's 25. So it must be here. Gosh, I'm so dim. 33, 32. This one is brassica. That's what we in the UK call having no money. Brassic. I don't know where it comes from. Oh dear. Okay, so we'll have some brassica. That's quite dark. And then we're going to we'll come up the scale. Let's see. Let's come up the scale for some, oh, that's nice. Flint, 31. Here we go. Flint, 31. And let's chuck in a little bit of a really light one. What about this almost white? Let's see how that works. 25, Sweet Lilac. Let's try that. Oh, do you know what? I don't think I've even swatched that. I don't think I have, look. So it's not almost white. There we go. So we'll try those. Let's try these. Okay, so we've got brassica, flint and sweet lilac. So let's, how have they done it? It's very dark in the centre, so we'll address that in a minute with, it's almost black, well it is black. Let's put the brassica in. There's also blue in here, but I don't know if that's because it's been watercoloured or... Let's put that in. And I'm just trying to follow the image as best I can, you know. That's a beautiful, beautiful colour. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? They are incredibly beautiful pencils. The colours are just divine. Okay, so let's go in with the next colour, which is the flint. And we'll pull that in. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. I've been desperate to use these pencils. And how better in recovery than a new set of pencils to play with. Okay, and then let's try this Sweet Lilac, which is pinker. That will help. And then we're going to have to chuck some blue in, I think. What's that? That's dark. Okay, we might need something even darker, I think, folks. What else have we got? Let's see. We need something really dark, purpley. Let's try the Inky Blue. 041. Let's try that. Inky Blue. So let's try. Let's put some in there. Yeah, that's good. And some up the edge of this one. A little bit on the tip there. And this will help because I'm going to have to come in with a blue. Just to try and match their colours. Like that. Well, I don't suppose we need to, but we can. Okay, what was that? Let's use that topaz, a little bit of topaz. So they've just mixed in just a little bit of bright blues in there. There's just a few patches of it. Like that. That works. Actually looks quite pretty. Mine's not going to be anywhere near as dark as theirs, but I'm okay with that. And then this one is very blue down here. And so is that one. And this one, more dark there. Okay. And then in the centre, this is black. So black Prisma in there. Seems odd putting black on a plant like that, but there we go. Alright. Then we need these pinky tones here. So what have we got? Let's see. Ooh, we've got lots to choose from. And we've got these ones down here. They seem like a good match. Rosy Stone, and whatever that one is. Amaretto. Let's try those two. We'll have gone through quite a lot, considering I thought this would just be a few colours. We might want... We'll have tested quite a few colours out. Okay. So for this one down here, we're going in with the Amaretto in that centre bit there. And I know it's tragic and it's a shame to do it, but a little bit of black. And then back over with that Amaretto. That gives us that really lovely dark tone. Then let's cover this with this pink. I mean, the wonderful thing about this, if you look at the actual image, there is not too much detailing on these. It's just more atmospheric, isn't it, the picture? But we are going to try and do a little bit of... So, let's just pick out underneath each of these tiny little, can you see? These tiny little petals with the Amaretto. And then I think when we're done, I'll just put a little bit of white on those tips. Okay, a little bit more. And we could do with like oh, let's try the wheatgrass on there. Bit more of a peachy tone. Okay, and then have we got a brighter pink? Yes, we do. Let's have a little bit of plum. There we go. Let's have a little bit of plum, just to bring out some random deeper areas. I just want to. I know it's not the same as theirs, but I just need the satisfaction that I've coloured it properly. That's better. Okay. And then I'm just going to go over with that wheatgrass, is it? Yeah, wheatgrass again. Okay. And then this one is like a sort of orangey brown colour. We don't have that. But we do have the wheatgrass, so I'm going to come in with the wheatgrass. My Castle Art pencils are in an ottoman in my bedroom, and we can see if we can make this orangey tone with a pink. So let's try Dusty Rose. There it is. Try Dusty Rose. And then the wheatgrass. We're going to need a brighter pink than that. And okay, brighter pink. What have we got? Sour berry, that's very bright, so we'll have to be a bit careful with it, but let's put in some sour berry. And then the wheatgrass again. It's not going to turn it the orange colour, but let me grab, I've got my Prismas next to me. I'm sorry that I'm not using the full Castle Arts, but with my face I can't be digging around in that ottoman. Let's take a bit of Deco Yellow and just turn that orange. There we go. So any yellow you've got really, and we'll just, because that's very dark down the bottom of this one, so we'll just chuck a bit of that in. There we go. That's okay, that's good. That'll show up nicely then when we put the black round them. Okay. Oh, we need those colours for this daisy. So what have we got? We've got some lovely browns. Let's pick oak. That's gorgeous. Oak, here it is. Let's do oak, if you're still with me, that is. I hope you are. Hope I'm not jibber-jabbering to myself. Oak and the wheatgrass. There we go. And we'll bring round that wheatgrass up round here, up into this leaf. Round these petals. And that leaf. And then we need, they've picked like a sort of a greeny colour, which I'm really looking forward to using. So I reckon we should go in with seafoam green. Yeah, let's do that. Pale apple, seafoam green, here it is. And we're going to add that in. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And then a tiny bit of the blue as well, a little bit of topaz. Just plop that in a few places. Like that. The next one, this one is those pinks, so I'm going to take sour berry. Make that nice and dark. Then I'm going to take the, let's take the rosy stone. Oh yeah, beautiful. And then what was that very soft pink? Dusty Rose, was it? Or we can try, we can always blend it out. Yes, it was. We could always knock it through with a little bit of clean white. Let's get that blue off there. A little bit of white. Okay. This leaf here is like a turquoisey colour. So we're going to go in with the, what is this? The seafoam green. Well, it's just this one, everything else is sort of blues. And then we're more or less done the hard part. And then the topaz. And then we'll put a tiny bit of the inky blue in there too. Just darken it up a bit. There we go. We'll put some, we'll do that with this leaf here. The rest of them are really dark. So the seafoam. And then the inky blue. just lightly, and then back in with that sea foam and a bit of the topaz for that lovely bright blue. Okay. Oh, we've got a purple one here, which is the same as that original flower. So that was brassica. Then it was flint. And then a little bit of that sweet lilac. And then we'll pull in some white. And we'll also chuck a little bit of that topaz in there too. There we are. Lovely, okay. Right, this is the easy bit now. We're going to fill this up with, that tiny little bit there needs to be topaz. Is there any other bits? Some topaz on that leaf there. We've got that one there. We want preserve those grasses with the topaz. They will have to have black on them, but okay. And then this is black. So super easy. I'm gonna fill this entire bottom bit up with black here. It's pouring down with rain. I will go over this with that, what have we been using? The inky blue, haven't we? I think I was calling it night blue, it's inky blue. But we've just got to fill this up. That little gap there. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't use the full Castle Arts. But it kind of throbs when I bend down, so I don't want to put myself through that today. Okay. And then we need to come up darker here, so we're going to pull those grasses up this edge with black. And I'm going to get a black gel pen to bring out those some of those leaves. Let's pull that edge up. Okay. Alright, then we're going to come in with the inky blue. Was that the colour? Yeah, it must have been. No, it wasn't. So inky blue is the new one, which is the purple. We were using night blue, but I'm going to come in with a little bit of this inky blue, which is a bit more purpley. Just to blend that out. Doesn't matter, you could use either colours, but it'd be nice just to have that hint of purple in there. Oh good, I'm glad I didn't fluff that up then, and I told you the right colour from the start. A little bit of inky blue in there. And we'll pull this inky blue up here too, this purpley colour. That's helped to blend that out right quite nicely. And then just a little bit of our night blue. I don't know that you'll notice much difference, but I know. Okay, alright, let me come out and have a look where we are now with the image. Now mine's going to be a lot lighter than theirs, but here we are so far. I hope you can see sorry about the camera wobbling. So I'm just going to take a quick break and get a drink because my mouth's drying out and I can't afford that to happen. And then we'll come back and we'll tackle these beautiful ballerinas. I don't think they'll be too hard. There is not too much colour or detail or anything on them, so I'll meet you back here shortly. Okay, right, let's have a go at this. I'm going to bring you in as close as I can without it going all blurry. So for the skin, I've got the wheatgrass that we used originally, and I've got the dusty rose. So I'm going to do on the underneath of these little arms with this dusty rose, just to give them that bit more of a pink hue. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. And on the faces, the legs, can you see everything? Let me just move you here, yeah. We're supposed to get thunderstorms. I hope we do. I love a good thunderstorm. Okay, this bit. Okay, on her arms. Well, I don't know if that was supposed to be a wand that she was holding. It looks like a shooting star or just magic coming out of her. Then it seems criminal, but the hair is black. And who am I to argue with great works of art? Okay, nearly there. And then we'll just put a little bit more wheatgrass in. Oops, sorry, that's over sharpening again. Because they are very pale. But we can come back with some darker colour if we need to. And I've missed her leg here. Okay, alright. So then we've got the black hair. Let's do that and get that over and done with. Okay. So all that's left showing is the little rosettes on their heads. Okay. I'll make the top of this bun look slightly lighter and then come in darker. Just so we've got some differentiation between the bun on her head and the rest of her head. Like that. And then we've got this little lady here. It seems odd just putting straight black on. that it? I might just put a touch of white just because I can't leave flat black. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've also got, which is really odd, but we've got this little rosette. I mean, they are almost silhouetted, aren't they, apart from there. And I've left this leaf here. That's supposed to be the purple one. Do it the same as that one. I've got a bit of blue missing here. Okay, and is there any other black bits? There are on their clothes, but we're going to do the colours first. So I've got Ocean Sapphire and I've got Genetian Blue. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but so we are going to start picking out these outfits then. So I'm coming in with the darkest, the Ocean Sapphire, and I'm going to pull this in. Again, mine's probably going to look slightly different, but I'm not going to get it completely spot on because I'm going to pull that in there, even though that's going to be black in there. Okay, and then we're going to come in with this, I think you say it, Genetian? I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's number 47. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. We've used a lot of the colours. Just for good measure, I'm going to put a little bit in there. And on our apron, swap them over, put the darker colour in. And then blend that through with the lighter colour. These bits that she's holding, these are also black. And there's a few like that. I need a bit of the blue in there also. There we are. Okay, then this dress. This is beautiful, isn't it, this dress? And then we'll bring out some of this colour with white. It's very dark over here. Okay, I am gonna, just for good measure, put some of the one I can't pronounce very well in the top. And just blend this through. Gosh, aren't they beautiful? And these colours, well, they've really shocked me. So apart from the fact that I couldn't dig in to get the yellow from the Castle Arts set, haven't they played beautifully? They've really sold themselves on this picture, I think. I think they've done so incredibly well. I know it's not on the picture, but she's having some shading on her top. Like that. And then the little wings look like they've got like the lightest coating of like a, almost like skin colour on them. Okay. Some of this is black. Okay. Alright, now we've got to go and ruin it and put this black in. I don't like doing it, but I want to be consistent with the image, so I'm just going to put it in lightly, I think. bit around the apron. And then the back of these dresses. I don't think it will look as good if we don't put it in. I don't think it will, you know, it'll have that dramatic atmosphere if we don't put this black in. There's a little bit here. And around here. Gosh, can you hear the rain? Okay, we need it here. A little bit round the top there. Some very light bits here. So when I come back in with that darker one, the Ocean Sapphire, just darken that up there. And that bit. Okay. And then the black again. That bit's very black. Like that. Okay, and then this one, she hasn't got so much on her, this one. She's got a bit, but not as much. So as much as I objected to putting black on them, it does bring out that atmosphere. So I might go in be a bit braver and even darken it up, you know. Let's get that Ocean Sapphire again. Pull out that darker blue. And here. And here. And here. There's a little bit of black here that I've missed. And then we'll pull up that blue there. Okay. I think that other than the white pen, I think they're done. We need the wings. So they have got quite a, there's like a sort of pinky peachy tone. Now, I can go in with the wheatgrass because that's what it looks like. So let's just try that, see if we need anything else then. Okay, let's go in with the wheatgrass. Like I say, who am I to... Yeah, that's cool. Who am I to argue? This one doesn't come right to the edges. That'll be where our white pen comes in. She's got a lot of dark on hers, but I don't know that I want to put a load of dark on her wings. Oh, this is torturous. But look, she's got, I don't know what colour you'd say that was. Maybe the Ocean Sapphire again. Let's put it in. Might need to be even darker than that, but I'm just putting some splodges in. Let's put a little bit of the topaz in as well. Like that. And she's also got some bits of Oh, she has now. Some bits of blue. I think we'll do them all the same. So that Venetian blue I think I picked up, and then the topaz. Venetian. I've never heard of that. I expect one of you lovely people will tell me if you're still with me. Okay, then I'm going to come back with that wheatgrass and just... Okay. Maybe even a little bit of white. Alright. In this rosette is like a purpley colour, so I'm going to pull in that rosy stone. Just going to pull in a little bit of that rosy stone, and then I'll get the paint pens. And a little bit of that in there. Alright, I'm going to colour that the same as we did the other one. I can't remember the exact colour, so it was a bit of plum. Well, it is now a bit of plum because it is slightly bluer. Let's have a bit of plum. A little bit of the amaretto. And the flint. And then the sweet lilac. And then the topaz, because it's got quite a bit of blue in it. Okay, right, let me come out so you can see. Here we are, we're almost there. So I'm going to go and get my paint pens, have a bit of a break, and gel pens, and then we'll come in and put the finessing on with black. I'm probably going to use a ballpoint. I've got a ballpoint pen that's brilliant. Put the details in that are missing from down the bottom here, and the white gel pen. I think we're done. Alright, I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm back. So I've got a Sharpie here. I don't think you can get these anymore. I asked in the last video. I think my lovely friend Lynette is trying to get hold of some for me. These are amazing. Super fine nib. They're just like Posca if you haven't got one, but I don't think they make them anymore. And anybody know where this gel pen comes from? It's just a normal writing gel pen, but it's perfect for colouring books. If you recognise it and you know who makes it, I've even taken it apart to see if there's a name and I can't find it. But if you recognise it and you know where it might have come from, please let me know, because it's brilliant in a colouring book. Okay, let's come in. Here we are, our little image. So I'm going to do the black first, and I'm going to use this gel pen, and I'm going to put all this detail back in. If this looks too black, I can always come back in with pencil to sort of knock it back a bit. I think we'll put the grasses back in. A few crossing over. I think it might look quite nice to have these grasses very dark. I'm going to put it round here just to really darken that up in there. And then we've got like all these little leaves that have got blue, but they've got black by them, if you know what I mean. So here, the original image has got very dark black outlines on them too. So I'm going to put them in. Like I say, who am I to argue with masterpieces? There we go, so I'm just like that. What's over here? Anything? Yes, there's like some little stone things, but I think we should switch from the black, and I've got a dark grey Jelly Roll Moonlight here, these colours, this colour rather, and I think we'll put those in with this. Let's see how it works. Oh no, I need a darker one than that. Have I got a darker one? Nope, so black it is. They're too light. It's just like little stones and detail-y bits. There's a little bit of grass there. A couple of little stones. There is a few. Bits over here. I'm not going to go to town too much. Don't want to spoil it, but I think sometimes these little bits really help to bring out the image, don't they? Darken up that grass. There's a leaf around there that we left blue, so I'll highlight that by putting black around it. There are a few more stones, but I'm scared. This little leaf has got I wouldn't normally do this, there's no way I'd do this, but can you see how it is bringing out the atmosphere of the page? It really is bringing out that our beautiful, very light ballerinas, isn't it? I think. So I'm just making these parts really dark. See how cool this pen is? There's no bleed through or anything. I wish I knew where I'd got it from. I thought at one point that it might have been Sainsbury's, but I've tried to research it. I spent ages trying to look it up to see where it might have come from, but to no joy. So if any of you can, and if any of you know, please let me know, because it's such a pleasure to use. And if I find out, I will of course let you know. So it covers over wax, it doesn't hesitate with its drawing, there's no, yeah, it's just brilliant. Okay, so she had some little dots on her wings, and there is a little bit of black outlining on the flowers on this dress. This one, like that. Anything else? Yeah, there's a little bit of black just on the tip of that wing there, and that one, and this lady has got quite a bit of, I'm just going to throw some dashes and dots in like that. Okay, white gel pen. So I am just going to really bring out the white of these dresses. Like this. Now there is pattern on that dress too. I don't think I'll be able to do it all, but hopefully it's given you some idea of how I copy the colours in a book like this. I know it's it was pretty limited colours, but okay. Let's come around the outline of that wing. And then these are, they look white to me. And that part is black. That's her hair there. Oh, and then we've got the moon and the stars to put back in. I'm going to put a little bit of that dusty rosy stone in this one. A little bit in there, and then I'll put the white in, just so it's got a little bit of colour underneath. Okay, then we had 3 stars here, one in the centre, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there is one above this wing, and that's her head, and then there's one up here, and then we've got the moon, which I can just about see. Like that. Okay, let's put, just emphasize a little bit on the white down here. And then this plant in the middle with the black bits on it has got some very little dots and a very dark outline, so we're going to put it in because it seems to have worked so far. You think we struggle all the time taking out outlines, and I'm putting them in on this page, but that's okay. Very pleased with how it came out. I'm super pleased with the Harmonious pencils. They're amazing. Okay, and then I was just going to put, just for my own peace of mind, just some highlights on this little flower. It just seems so flat. Like that. There is a little highlight on that one. And my daisy could do with being a bit greener. It needs more green in it. So I'm going to put in some bay leaf. Be careful, but I am going to put some bay leaf in. If we look at this one up here, it's got a lot more green in it, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of bay leaf in there, just to help it along a little bit. It's a bit compared to theirs it's a bit insipid. And then what other green? Let's just throw greens at it. Pine green. Yeah, that looks good. It's a very green. Yeah, there we go. And then I have to outline it. Like I say, we spend hours trying to get rid of lines usually. And a little there. That's very dark in there. You can see why I want one of these, find out where I got this gel pen from. They don't falter. It doesn't, it's not fussed by wax or oil or anything, it just works. Okay, and then I'll be able to pull us out so we can have a look at the finished page and see what you think. We need to do this as well. So I'm going to put a little bit of the night blue in here. A little bit of night blue in there. Just randomly, little circles of it. And then I'm going to take my gel pen and fill that up like in the image. I know it seems sacrilege, but and then we're done, I think. Trace around all these little tiny leaves. I've got smudges all over it. I'm going to have to look on my page. I'm going to have to erase. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of mess going on my hand. I did have one of those colourist gloves at one point. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it went. You know, it's just like, just sort of covers up your, that part of your hand to stop it all smudging. Okay, let me take a big plastic eraser and see if I can get this off. I doubt it, knowing my luck. Okay, sometimes you just have to say, okay, I made a mess and leave it alone. Just want to see if I can tidy up the circle, the oval. Holy moly, that is coming down, folks. Yeah, just be aware, look, if you're using these blues, it's like a polychromos, you'll smudge it everywhere, and a Prisma, but they are smudgy. Okay, but I think I've managed to clean it up a little bit. There we are. I'm going to put a few tiny dots of white in this. I don't know why, I just feel like it would be better with it. And in that one. There. Okay, so it's not exactly the same. put some on this as well. But it's as close as I can do. There we go. Yeah, let's come out. Try and get from, excuse my messy desk. There we go. So there's the original artist. Let me tell you who that is. There's ours. Put them side by side like that. Page 18. Page 18. Fairies performing in French. Pas de trois with the moon. I think that might be how you say it, but it doesn't say who did it, so that's not very helpful. But there we are. There's our page, folks. All done with Harmonious pencils. One Prismacus. I couldn't go and bend down. We could always put a bit more pink in there, but I think it's time to... I think it's actually time to step away. There's a little bit of the rosy stone in there. I mean, you'll keep going forever because if you're like me, I'm never satisfied with what I've done. I'm pleased with it. Please don't get me wrong. I am really pleased with what we've done and what we've achieved with these pencils. But that is better. A little bit of rosy stone in there, folks. That is better. Alright, I'm going to step away. Okay, there we are. Their picture and our picture. Not exactly the same, but I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to go and give myself a break now. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll bring you back in. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go and have a break, and then I'm going to see if I can get a Patreon page done for those poor patient people for me. Alright, my lovelies. So I'll be back on Monday. My members and Patreons continue to send me birthday presents. I think they've pre-ordered things and they're just arriving and coming through. So I've got lots and lots to share with you. Now, I was requested to colour in Leon's journey. Let me know if that's something you want to see. And of course I'll do it. But I've got lots and lots of birthday things that I want to play with and share with you. So, okay. So I'm going to go. So until we meet again on Monday, have a fabulous weekend. Take really good care of yourselves. And I'll see you Monday. Bye for now. Bye.